I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
I ain't here to constrain you, just entertain you. Education costs a fee, the ignorance is free.
It's not an easy skill to learn.
Not at all.
I've been practicing it for many years.
Ignorance is free. Ignorance is free. Ignorance is free. Damn! The ignorance is free. The ignorance is free. Ignorance is free.
$5, Buster.
The ignorance is free.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. I know it took a very long fucking time for me to get the second episode going, but it's finally here, and I got TGramz in the building. What up, man?
Yeah. What's up, players? TGramz, Toronto's own Crackstone, voice of the dot, rap games, D-boy, audio crack, man. Fresh out the Pyrex into the sandwich bag, straight to the street. You feel me?
Are those all aliases? You have like 1,000. I
Yeah,
feel
Doe
like.
Carter 9-3, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The best shit that happened to T.O. since 9-3, you know? Doe Carter, TGramz, T Grizzle, you know?
And who else do we got over here, man? We got
Scarborough Benny. They call me Scarborough Benny on Instagram. I'm Benny, Motel City podcast representative, host, owner, author, all that shit.
Bomb. So, Gramz, you know, I've actually was on your Twitter the other day, and I do that. I stalk people's Twitter.
All right. Let's
and
talk about
I seen you did post a while back, and you know, you guys can see this post. I'm actually going to put it right on the screen. The post was a while ago. It was back in 2016, and the tweet was, is there a reason why there isn't a straight parade celebrating men and women? Or would that be considered a disrespect for being proud? Can you expand on that?
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. It is like, okay, let me put it like this. So I don't disrespect nobody, because I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. And I don't care what agenda you have or like who you like and who you love. That's none of my business, right? Mm-hmm. But I just feel like if we're going to push something so much, then why can't we push the opposite as much and it not be offensive to what you're pushing or what they're pushing?
Which is fair.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, they have a whole parade, right? Mm-hmm. Which is cool. I don't mind it. I know some people that go to the parade or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we were to say, hey, let's celebrate a man and a woman and children and like a family that was a man and a woman, could we celebrate that? Could we walk down Yonge Street as a big group and be like, yeah, straight pride? Or would that be disrespectful? And I was kind of asking it as a real question, like, let me know.
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, would it be offensive if I said I want to go to a straight pride event?
Just to kind of celebrate
what I believe in, because they celebrate what they believe in, right?
So when I read that tweet, and I got it, by the way, I totally understood what you were saying, but then I started thinking about it, and I think the whole purpose of like any type of we'll call it gay pride, like that celebration, right, is I guess because there was so much oppression, you know, towards being gay. So now that it's like, okay, they went through I don't want to compare like that struggle to like any,
which is cool.
So now they're like, okay, you know what? Okay, everybody's accepting it. So now we want to openly celebrate it. Hence,
which is fine. But we got to also remember too that there's another generation that's watching, that's coming up under us too. So we want to give them a balance, and we want to show them that, yeah, there's that too, and we love that, but there's also this too, and we should love that too. There shouldn't be one agenda getting pushed more than the other.
So do you feel that, and this goes for you too, Ben, but do you feel that now in 2016-17, like they're pushing that a little bit too much down our throat? I'm talking about on TV as well. You see Empire.
I just had this conversation the other day with somebody, and I was saying every time I turn on the TV, like, they're letting it be known, which is fine, right? And I don't have nothing against them. I got gay friends. Shout out to Jelly Two Fly. Shout out to Aisha. Like, you know what I mean? I got gay friends, so I don't have nothing against gay people. I'm just saying, let's push positivity on being straight too. There's nothing wrong with that, as opposed to just turning on the TV and they're kind of pushing it in our faces, like you said. Like every time I turn on anything, I'm talking about even cartoons nowadays.
Yeah.
They're always pushing it, which is fine, but
It's not fine, cuz. Don't lie.
it's not. But
Speak
no,
on
it's
that.
not. But let's try to push the straight shit too. You
As
know what
well.
I'm saying?
I personally feel like kids should be kept in a neutral position.
Like I was saying, a balance. Like
Yeah.
a
Like, I don't
choice.
feel like a kid should be even seeing too much heterosexual activity sexually. I feel like it
That's-
should just be neutral. Let them grow and if
And
you
make
wanna-
their choice.
And let
if
them
you wanna
figure it out.
choose
Make
a
their
team you wanna
choice.
go-
But you know, and you know what? Just to kind of to expand on that, I think the reason why they put it out so much is because there was a time where if you were gay
you were pressed very heavily.
and you were getting fucked up, you were getting gay bashed. So like when they put it on TV, it's like, hey, don't beat the shit out of this person because it's okay to be this
Honestly,
way.
I agree. There's no reason to ever beat up anybody. Like,
Yeah.
If you want to go in your room and lock your door and whatever happens, that's your life.
Yeah.
dog.
That's your business.
You feel me? But it's like, don't try to confuse my son at home.
Yeah.
Because you feel
Exactly.
like it's your turn to win.
Exactly. Why
You know
every
what I mean?
time I
Like,
gotta
that's
turn
why
on
I'm
the
offended
TV?
personally sometimes.
That's a
It's
good-
like
that's-
my son has to ask me, Daddy, why is this man kissing another man?
Yeah.
And now I have to have that conversation with him.
So okay, so let's just say that it wasn't on TV as much, right? It wasn't on TV as much. But then, you know, your son comes home or your daughter, whoever, they come home and they ask you and they say, hey, you know, Dad, like they were talking about this at school today. One of my friends said something about gay and they asked you, do you feel that it's your responsibility as a parent to kind of explain to them prior, you know, but to them seeing it on TV or in the media, like about same-sex relationships?
You have to. I talked to my son about that now because now they're passing laws
Yeah.
to literally teach these kids about masturbation, anal sex.
What the fuck are you talking about? What?
This is
Yeah,
going
that's what
on,
they're
bro.
teaching in the
Fam,
schools
you gotta
now.
pay
They're not
attention.
talking about anal
No,
sex
they're
in
not
the school.
doing that. But I'm telling you is they've passed a bill to set up curriculum
Yeah.
that reflects these topics. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yo.
This is real shit. You can
Yeah.
Google it right now. You got an iPad, Google that shit. They got homosexual curriculum getting set to go into the school system. And me and my son's mother have already told them when that goes on, you just call my cell phone and I'm taking my son to the arcade
Yeah.
for 40 minutes because I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
If my son needs to learn about that, I will tell him.
Yourself.
I don't need you to tell him because you have an agenda you're pushing that's like it's like a secret agenda. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like I don't feel like they're trying to like make kids gay, but they're trying to make kids accept things that maybe they weren't aware of. Let me tell you something. How old are you? Like, how old are you personally? Let's be honest.
I'm 33.
Okay, 33. I'm 31. I grew up my whole life. I knew about gay people. No one had to tell me. No one had to educate me. I made my decision.
But how did you know? How did you?
Because you know what it is? As a kid, you know more than you're supposed to in this world, especially in these parts of the world.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
knew
true.
about pussy at like 12, cuz.
Yeah.
Like real rap. So it's like before they even had class for pussy, I knew about pussy.
Ahead of time.
I was-
That's true.
Yeah,
Now that I'm
yeah.
thinking about it, when they introduce sex, I'm like, I already know
We
this
already
shit.
know.
What are you telling
But
me?
now,
So it's like-
now they're teaching it.
And my problem is not that they're teaching it; it's the fact that I don't think you're qualified to give my son
It's
the
the- it's the
exact
person who's-
amount of knowledge and the objective perspective.
That's a good
gonna
point.
give him an
Straight up.
option to make the right decision.
Straight up.
That's
Feel
a
what I'm
good
trying to
point.
say?
That's a
my
good
son
point.
looks at me like Superman. So if I like girls, my son likes girls. I'm not worried about him. But at the end of the day, he's a human being. He has questions. He's like, why is this going on, Dad? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? And I have to give him an honest answer. I'm not going to be prejudiced, tell him, yo, you have to hate those people and fuck them. It's not like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, dog, they live their life. I live mine. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I just tell them basically, like, if you want to like your daddy, do like dad. You know what I mean? He naturally, when he sees Nicki Minaj on the TV, he stops what he's doing and he watches. Like a real nigga should. Shout out my little one.
I'm
Straight up.
Real rap. He does. He
True
does. He
that,
does. He
true
does.
that, true that.
But I'm trying to show you, like, honestly, that's why I feel like on a real tip, like, a lot of
Everybody's
fathers
up
need to be
Nicki.
there for their kids.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and I don't say this personally, but some women, they don't take these topics seriously.
Yeah, it's
And when your
true.
kid learns from a television,
It's
or
true.
from a radio program,
That's what I
or
was
from
saying.
someone else, you have issues.
That's what I'm saying. We need a balance.
Yeah,
It's
fam.
basically what that tweet meant. Like, to sum it all up, we need a balance.
With that being said, you're talking about when you were growing up, you know, you know what I'm saying? You knew about pussy before fucking sex ed and all that shit. Where were you actually born?
I was born in Toronto General, right downtown. I'm a Toronto baby.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
And then where did you actually grow up? Like, where were you raised?
Scarborough. I grew up all over Scarborough. I started off like from where I could remember, all over. But I remember living by Woodbine, and I really grew up by Danzig. That's like more inside in Lawrence area. Then I went to Markham Eglinton, and that's where I basically grew up at. Markham Eglinton. That's
like around what age were you around Markham and Eglinton?
Markham Eglinton, I was there from, I left over by Morningside grade 5, so from grade 6, whatever age you are in grade
around
6,
them times. What school did you go to? What high school?
I went to all kind of high schools. I was getting kicked.
Twist the mic a little bit to face you. Yeah,
I was getting kicked out of all the high schools, so I kind of went to every one of them in Scarborough. I went to Bendale, Borden, SCAS, the safety program.
I remember SCAS.
Danforth Tech. And then
see, you did like a high school tour. You were on tour then.
Yeah, I was on tour. I was all over Scarborough. I'm a real Scarborough baby. You know what I mean?
Did you ever go to, when you're in high school, like they had the school dances, and did you ever go even in like junior high? Did you ever go to any of those?
Used to be the shit. You remember those?
Of course. Did you dance? Or
hell yeah, we
cool
would man. Yo, listen, when I
shit?
came up, it was the time of like the dance hall shit, and everything was real heavy with the dance hall shit, right?
Yeah.
So when we were going to school, it was all about bubbling and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was. So when it came to those dances, nobody was one of them niggas that sat on the wall. And if you were one, because I was the nigga that was on the wall, but I always had a shorty there bubbling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So even though I'm standing on the wall, I'm getting the bubbles straight. Everybody knows from them times.
What about you, Betty?
Oh, all day, brother. Come on.
I don't even know I asked that question.
It's all good, bro. Come on, man. I'm good, bro.
What about when you were in school? You play sports?
Oh, I used to play ball and shit.
You were a baller, eh?
I used to play ball.
What made you stop? I was playing basketball too, and when I went to high school, I just stopped all sports. I blame it on the weed, personally. Why did you stop playing sports?
Life. You know what I'm saying? Life, because you get like, okay, boom, before high school, obviously certain things are your priorities, right? And then you move on in life and you grow up, and then other things become your priorities. Like, you remember what Jadakiss said? He's like, first it was light skin short, you know what I mean? Light skin shorties, and then we moved, you know what I'm saying? Then we just moved on to other shit. But I always loved ball. It's just we never really had the means for me to actually play ball. Like, the only time I could actually play ball was at school, or like in the neighborhood and shit. But to play ball out here for leagues and shit, I never really had the means to. Like, nobody
you
could
gotta
actually
pay for that.
Yeah,
shit
exactly.
Too.
Nobody could ever really pay for me to go to these things, right? So I eventually ended up getting into other shit.
No doubt. What do you remember in high school? They had like initiation. Were you guys around? Were you in school at that time when they were initiating people?
Yeah.
Did you get initiated?
Nah.
Gramz was like, I didn't get fucked.
Real niggas don't get initiated.
Did you initiate anyone?
No, I didn't even initiate anyone.
When I went to RH King. And
fuck, you went to RH King?
Yeah, I went to King, man.
Okay.
And
I right up the road there.
You what?
I'm from 400, right up the road there.
Yes.
Okay.
I never got initiated. I'm just stating that fact.
Okay.
But these niggas was initiating people. They had them like pushing pennies with their nose on like gravel
pussy niggas always down
shit.
like
That's fucked up.
It's like
right?
it's like fraternity shit. Like a real nigga would never sign up to do that. I'll scrap one nigga. I might win. I might lose. But tomorrow, you ain't gonna crack to me the way you cracked to me yesterday. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. My first year in high school, boarding, I only lasted like 4 months, and that's where I caught my first case at robbery and extortion. Like, nobody was initiating me in high school.
That wasn't happening.
Nah.
What about, you mentioned earlier, you talked about, potentially having a straight pride parade.
Yeah.
Okay, so since black people, niggas, since we have Black History Month, do you think white people should have White History Month?
That's a good question. Why? I mean, nah.
Definitely
Hell
not.
No.
Why not?
Because there's these history months for a reason. We get 1 month out of the year.
Yeah.
February, and that's the shortest month
Shortest
out of the
fucking
year.
month.
If you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? So they got all year. I mean, yo, if we bring it back, like, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
My roots are so deep that my pops is black and my mom is native, right? Mm-hmm. And those are the two most oppressed races, like in history. Black people and native people, they came and took the land from the native people, and they took the black people in general. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And basically, we've been oppressed, man. So they don't need a fucking a personal, even a day, because no, real rap. Like,
No,
they don't,
I agree.
They don't
agree.
need a day just because of in history. We'll just leave it at that. They don't need a day because of history.
Mm-hmm. What about back in the day? Like, I'm talking in the
like prison is most Canadian prison population is mostly Native and black people. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everything was took. Like, my roots and my parents are from Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Right? And that's where black people first settled that after they escaped certain plantations and slavery. They came to Canada and they came straight to Nova Scotia. Right? So all they got to do is just go back on the history and be like, listen, you guys should have maybe another month. Maybe they should have a Native Pride Month. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Why can't we get a Native Day for all that shit?
Why do you think that is?
Because man.
Well, you know what? Actually, and you know, I don't mean to interrupt you there, but I mean, like, that's like, you bring up a very good point about Native people being just as oppressed, or one of the most oppressed peoples.
Yeah,
like, how come they don't kind of get that light, or even that month, even if it is the
we don't
shortest
even get a
fucking
month. And listen, we were here. Remember, we got the land stolen.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? The shit was stolen, and we get Thanksgiving, and you want me to bring up Thanksgiving? I can give you some history about Thanksgiving too, right? Like, we're celebrating all the wrong shit, and we need to start celebrating all the right shit, and we need to start celebrating culture, and we need to start celebrating ethnicity, and we need to start respecting, and we need to start showing love to the people that been here, man.
So do you I was listening to your song, I think it's Native Son.
Hell yeah.
And you mentioned in that record, you were saying something about, what is it? They have like the tax exempt card or something like that.
Yeah. It's a tax card.
Now, okay, so now a lot of people would look at that and they would say that's kind of a big thing, and
but it's not.
Yeah, you expressed in that song that that's not a big deal at all.
Like, what? Because we get a couple taxes off and shit?
Do Native people also get free schooling as well?
It depends on, you got to go through programs and shit. It's not like you could just go to school and be like, yo, because you're Native, you get to come here for free.
So what do you mean about go through programs? What does that? What do you mean expand on that?
You got to go through, like, if you want to get free schooling or free like anything like that, you got to go to, say, a Native resource center. Or if you're Native, you got to go and tell somebody you're Native, and maybe they'll have something for you. Now there's shit that they have now, like the John Howard Society and things like that of that nature, to where they're shedding more light on it. And I want to also shout out to my cousin Cody Zachariah, because he's doing major things right now in the Native community, bringing a lot of knowledge and a lot of looks to it. And I just want to shout him out. And yeah, man, we need to shed more light on it, man. We need to shed more light on the people that were here, and the history of the people that were here, and the history of the people where not only us, but where you're from too. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. This is Canada. So if you're from Canada, know your history and respect it.
All right, dope. I'm gonna go back to the gram because I'm stalking, and
niggas all on my shit, dude.
And actually, my bad. I'll go to Twitter, and again, you guys can see this post right now. So this is like, it looked like you kind of, because this was all within like the same day. Back to back, and I'm just gonna read it.
Probably on a
hard day, nigga. That's a hard day. No one calling your phone, nigga.
And quiet. And I'm just gonna read it. I'm not making this up. So it says, and not to mention the Toronto rappers that purchased mad pussy, smiley face. Ooh. And then it says, I'm not gonna mention any names here, but then it says, I know 2 other Toronto rappers that when my nigga blank was here. We ran up on them. We got his fake chain popped. LOL. LOL. I even know a Toronto rapper whose wifey is a certified crack smoker. Then there's another one that says, trust me, I've seen some of your favorite rappers fold up when the pressure was on. I'ma soon do a 50 Cent How to Rob type record and expose them. So
That's how you're living, cuz? I didn't even see
so
that.
my question, and this is not even, this is kind of about the tweet, but it kind of goes a little bit further than that, because there's a lot of rappers that are like that kind of fake the funk.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why they don't get called out. Like, why do people just let it ride?
It's a fake year, bro.
I have no idea. I just try to stay in my own lane. I try to stick to what I know and stick to the people that I fuck with, and you know that's just another public opinion. It's almost like a question saying like, don't run around acting like you know these cats like you think you know them, man. Mm-hmm. Cause I be out here like I'm everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
So basically, and again, I'm not asking for any names, but that tweet was a real tweet. That was about.
No, it was definitely a real tweet. Definitely a real tweet, and I'm not gonna say no names, obviously, but just know that you know everybody ain't who they say they are. You know?
All right.
And like I said, I got love for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But like, social media is different in real life, I guess, in 2017. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we'll just keep it at that.
All right. Well, listening to the My Way album, you have a record on there called Finally Free.
Yeah.
And obviously, listening to that, it kind of sounds like you did some time. Yeah. And like, I'm wondering if you care to speak on that. Like,
oh yeah.
How long were you actually locked up for?
All together or one time, or
what was your longest stretch?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And when you were, do you mind if I ask what you got locked for?
Just regular street shit, you know, hammers and drugs and shit like that.
So the day that it actually happened, Gramz. So I'm talking about you woke up. Yeah. And to you, this is just a regular day. Whatever you were going to do that day, you were going to do that day. Yeah. What happened that day? I'm talking about the day where you got arrested, and that was the day where you did that 3 years. How did that day start until you were in cuffs?
Regular shit. Back then, I used to, well, not back.
So let's talk about the specific day. The day.
Boom, I woke up, boom, we're supposed to do a video that day, a music video. And, you know, when we were that age, we played a certain position. And we played the position of obviously young niggas. So as young niggas, we were doing shit that young niggas do. And it was a video shoot or whatever. So I was one of the young niggas that were there, and the video shoot ended up getting called off or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we ended up scrapping the video shoot and going back to the building or whatever. The whole time, well, not the whole time, but like prior, like a month prior, like I was selling drugs to an undercover officer and shit.
Fuck.
So boom, that went on for like a month or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then boom, the final day was when we went to do that video shoot. It got canceled, so we ended up back at the building. He had called me for what he called me for. I went to serve him, and then boom.
That was it.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's kind of fucked up.
Toronto Drug Squad?
55 division player, you know that. Toronto Drug Squad.
Save drugs, guys.
Yeah.
So when you were doing that stretch, did a lot of people come to visit you?
Well, yeah and no, because if you understand the Toronto jail system and the Ontario jail system, I should say, like when you're in the provincial part of it, like you're in Toronto, like you might be, well, shout out to the Don jail. That was a real gladiator school that shut down now. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you either went to the Don jail, the East Detention Center, or the West Detention Center. If you were like in Toronto and anything that had to do with drugs was the Don jail. So while I was in Toronto, I got my visits, of course. But then when I got sentenced, and when you go to the federal part of the shit, penitentiary, you go to Kingston and shit, right?
Okay, so it's a lot further away.
So it's a lot further. And you got everything has to be approved and shit like that, like your phone numbers and whoever's coming to visit you and shit like that, right?
So were people writing you, calling you? Like, basically, was there anyone when this happened, right?
Yeah.
Was there anyone that you thought would have been there for you in terms of like visits, phone calls, putting money on your books and shit like that wasn't there? Did you just, people held you down and that's what it was supposed to be?
I mean, people held me down as much as they could, you know. I shout out to everybody who did. Shout out to those who didn't too, you know.
But do you take it personal? I mean, like...
nah, because you know what? This is how I look at it. I feel like this. If I put myself in a position, and I gotta end up going through it, then I don't expect anybody else to have to go through it with me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
you got yourself
that's almost
in
like
that situation.
that's almost like getting in trouble with somebody and then telling on them.
Yeah.
Like you didn't make the decision to
do it yourself.
to do what you were doing.
Yeah.
And that's why fuck rats and all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because as a man, like, you make your own decisions as a grown man.
Yeah.
So when you get into certain situations, you got to man up and take those situations
And deal with it on your own.
deal with it on your own.
So what was your first night like? I'm talking about, so you're not in Toronto anymore. You're way out in Kingston. What was that first night like?
Well, first I had to get on the bus, the big prison bus to go out to Kingston, shackled up with everyone else who was going to Kingston. Mm-hmm. Got to Kingston, had to go to Millhaven. That's where you first go. Well, back then, that's where you first went, which is the maximum security side and shit. So it's like 23 hours a day lockdown. Fucking, yeah, you come out.
23 hours.
22 and a half. Yeah, sorry, 22 and a half. So
That's, fuck it, 23. Just fuck it. Yeah.
Basically 23. In there with a celly and shit. I was in there with Ricky. Shout out to Ricky. He was cool as shit.
So was your first night, was it difficult? Was there any
nah, because it's not difficult because, mind you, remember, you've been in jail that whole time before you got there.
Okay.
Like, I was in the Don jail already for like a year and change and shit. Then, boom, I went to the West, then got transferred out there. So it's all the same process. Like, you're already used to it because you're already in jail. So nothing's new anymore.
So when somebody like myself, I you know what I mean? I get all my information from just people that I talk to who've been locked up, or even just through the media, which is bullshit anyways. Yeah. So what would you say, if there was any, like, what was your worst experience while you were in jail? Like, anything, you know, that was just like it was a bad time. It didn't even have to be like actually happened while you were in jail. It could be something that happened on the outside while you were locked up. What was the worst
part about it is just not being able to be around your peoples. Shit, like your loved ones and shit, you know, like the people that love you, and just having that worry of, like, if something happens to someone out there, you can't be there to do anything about it, you know, because, like, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, I made my own decisions and I made my own choices to be at where I'm at. So at that point, like, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do regardless. So what I think about and the things that hurt me the most was the people that I couldn't be around.
Right. And when you were locked up, did you kind of stay to yourself, or did you fuck with everybody?
Man, you know,
I mean, like,
yeah, like,
because I don't mean to interrupt you, because this is I want to know this, but people, they always say, like, if you get too involved, it could kind of put you in a bad position. Like, now all of a sudden, like, you're doing shit that's getting more time. Like, did you kind of stay to yourself, or were you,
No, it's all about being an individual and being your own man. Like, you understand what I'm saying, and doing your own time. Like, when I go to jail, I do my own time. Of course, I fuck with niggas, you know, but I also know when I gotta do my own time, and I know when I gotta separate myself from shit. I know when I gotta be involved with shit. Like I keep saying, like, as a man, you gotta know how to make the right decisions and choices.
What did you do to pass the time while you were in there?
Depends on where I was at. Like, when I was in the provincials, like the Don jail, you know, we were smoking and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Cuz playing Ludi and Bidwiz and shit like that, you know, spitting freestyles on the range and shit like that, having fun and shit. And then when I got to Millhaven, we couldn't have too much fun because we're in the cell all day and shit. But when I actually got to the feds and shit, like, you know, when I got to the Joyceville. Me and my homie J Money. Shout out to J Money. He got a life sentence and shit. We actually, there was a music room in there.
Oh yeah.
So
what do you mean music room? Describe the room.
Like there was a music room in there with a keyboard and a recorder. Like, you know, back in the day, how you would have one tape on one side and a tape on the other side, and you could record that shit, right? Yeah. So and we had one of those keyboards like the where you can make beats and shit on. You know what I'm saying? So we had one cat, Fuzzy J, that was in there, and he would make the beats. And fucking me and J Money would rap on them and record the shit. Sick. So we had a tape we had a tape. I still have the tape.
Oh yeah, you think you'll ever release that shit?
One day, but you know what? I'll release it if he gets out. I'll release it if he gets out on parole, cause he got 13 or 14 to life, and he's on like his 12th year right now. You know what I'm saying? So if he gets out, then I'll drop that shit. Nice. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man.
But yeah, that's how I passed the time in there. Like I did a lot of music, writing and you know.
What did you write on?
Beats and shit.
No. But like, listen, I'm asking this. I'm asking like there's no fucking paper.
Question. We ain't into like we ain't in the millennium.
Somebody once told me I was writing rhyme on fucking toilet paper and shit like that.
Nah. I was writing rhymes on paper and shit. Wasn't
like
that
I
crazy?
had paper, motherfucker.
Yeah, I had paper.
Was there anything from that whole part of your life? I'm talking about when you were in jail. Anything from that you would take from that and as a positive?
Everything. The whole experience was a positive.
As a positive. So,
Hell
okay,
yeah.
A lot of people would hear that and say, what the fuck are you saying right now? How did you turn that into a positive? Other than I ain't never going back.
No, it was a positive because I got a chance to see life from a different angle.
Yeah.
I got to see life from a different point of view. Like I had a chance to actually see people that were never ever gonna come home again in life.
Yeah.
I had a chance to see people that like had nobody to call, nobody sending them letters, nobody, and they're there for life. Like I seen people put their lives on the line for people, and them people are gone out their lives, like
just like that.
I seen people commit suicide. I seen people die in jail. Like fuck. I seen this shit.
Yeah.
And I got to appreciate life more. You understand what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
That's why I say it's a positive, because when I actually got out, I had a better understanding for life. Like things that I might have did before I went in, I kind of fell back on and realized that, we really only got one life to live.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You got to see the other side of it. And it kind of makes you appreciate.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's real. I wanna. You mentioned one thing. You talked about ratting for a second, and I want to talk about that, Benny. I want to get your input on this because, to me, like just like to be clear, like I always feel like with snitching. Again, I'm not like a street dude or anything like that, but I
don't get too ripped.
I always feel like with snitching that, and you guys may feel differently about this, which is why I'm going to ask the question. But I always feel like with snitching, there's a real gray area. Okay, and I'll tell you why I say that, because some people say, oh, it's not snitching if there's no paperwork. Some people say it's snitching even if you point at a nigga. So yes, okay. Let me get a black and white description, your opinion of what snitching is. Benny, what's snitching?
Snitching is anything you say that could lead to someone else's downfall in any sort of way particular. If you talk to my girl about, where was your man last night? You sure he was gambling at the casino? That's snitching.
Even that's
snitching.
You
feel me? Yeah. If you say to the cops in a car, when they catch you with 2 grams of dope, that that nigga right there, he got the fire and he's serving everybody, and because you don't come to court, you're still a snitch. Snitching is anybody who talks against you and gives information that could lead to your downfall. Niggas snitch on their Instagram, niggas snitch on their Twitter, niggas snitch on their podcast, niggas snitch on everything. You feel me?
But what it sounds like is it's done unintentionally though.
A lot of the times it is. Like I'm the type of nigga, like right now, I would never talk about a nigga's case if it's open.
Yeah.
Never. Like I'll give you an example, like the homie Taxstone who does the podcast as well.
Yeah.
I don't even give my opinion about that.
It's open.
It's open.
Yeah.
Anything can happen for that nigga. It can go left and go right. It can go great. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So any word you say might give a little millimeter of an inch to that side
to make it go in the.
You feel what I'm trying to say?
And we're not going to talk about Taxstone's case or anything like
Never.
that. But when he was going at Cameron, and then he was saying that Cameron was saying, oh, when his Lambo got shot up, they were throwing the rock symbols, and Taxstone was basically saying that was if the cops had no idea where to look.
Correct.
He just said, yo, rock symbols. Oh,
in
rock.
some sort of type of fuck roundabout way. That could be considered snitching. 'Cause I'm a detective.
Is that snitching?
Gray area, yes. Gray area.
Okay,
yes.
so all right. Okay, so watch this now. So you're Cameron. Mm-hmm. No, I'm Cameron.
Okay.
All right, and fucking MC Gusto just shot up my car, and I tell the cops that
you say it publicly. He didn't tell the cops. He said it publicly. Like
okay, publicly. You're right.
Correct.
You're right. Publicly, I say, oh, they were throwing up the fucking the ABC sign.
Correct.
So am I snitching?
Yes. Because
So,
you know
so
what?
Cameron was snitching.
Correct. Because you know what? The police may not have no information of your situation. The minute you say they threw up 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever.
Yeah.
Now they have information towards their investigation.
So now they know where to look at least.
Correct. Now, if something comes up out of that, think about it now. You were the catalyst and the foundation for someone getting arrested.
So what if nothing comes out of that? Is that not considered snitching?
That's what we call, in my opinion, dry snitching. Like, you don't even know you're snitching, but you're snitching. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like, a lot of niggas snitch on themselves. Mm-hmm. And that may not be a violation because it's on me. But at the end of the day, if your homie gets bagged with you, is that snitching?
I would
you know what I'm
think
trying to
so.
say? Exactly.
I would think so.
So the point is, basically, people just talk too much, man.
What do cops try to do?
Oh, you want me to give you the story?
What do cops try to do?
You want me to give you the rundown?
Hell yeah.
Give you the rundown, yo. I've been through this one way too much times. So, boom, you get arrested, right? Then they bring you to the white room. First before the white room, you get printed and all that shit. And then they bring you to the white room and they make you wait in the white room for like fucking hours on top of hours.
4.5.
You know what I'm saying? Just to make you sit there and wait because they think that by you waiting, you might get fed up and be like, I need to get the fuck up out of here. Which a lot of people do think like that.
Yeah.
Right? Boom. Then they come in, two of them. Sometimes maybe just one and then the other one will come in after. One of them will just be like, hey, man, I just want to talk, Get any information from you, boom. Then the other one will try the same shit. Mm-hmm. Now, standard, I'm going to give everybody the standard of what to do. If you ever get caught up and arrested and you feel scared and you're about to snitch.
Why do I feel like this is a song?
Listen, I'm going to tell you how to not snitch and not get beat up by the feds if that's what you're scared of.
And your homies will still fuck with you.
And your homies will still fuck with you.
Okay, please. Tune the fuck in right now.
All you got to do is when they come in there, all you got to do is say, hey, listen, my lawyer told me that I'm not allowed to talk to you guys. And if I talk to you guys, I'm going to get in trouble. Now, listen, I have to deal with you guys for one night. I have to deal with my lawyer for my whole case, right? That's it. That's all. Bottom line. They have to respect it because that's your right. And if they didn't tell you that when they arrested you, they already violated. You understand what I'm saying? You have to know your rights out here, player. Yeah. You're allowed to not say anything. You do have the right to remain silent. You understand what I'm saying? And if they don't read you that right when you get arrested, then you already won.
Why do you think people don't actually invoke that right, the right to remain silent?
Because they're scared of that initial confrontation. Police are scary people. Let's not get it twisted. Why you think they enforce it how they enforce it? Why you think they're out here killing niggas?
Yeah.
Why you think they're out? This is all to get in your head that, listen, you better fuck with us or get killed, basically. And that's why people are telling.
Yeah.
Because when they get in that little white room, it's like, yo, they're looking at 4 fucking walls and they don't know what to do. Like, they ain't never going to come home again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people tell because they think no one knows they're going to tell. But you don't realize the minute you make a statement, that's on document.
Yeah, and that shit. But if it's on document, that's not what public record. Like, people can, they can pull that up?
All you got to do is pay for it.
That's right. Shit. The minute you get convicted under a statement that I made, that's public.
Huh.
So someone will get that. And the point is, like, like I was trying to say earlier, like a statement is like they might even bring me to court to statement against you. You feel what I'm trying to say? But a lot of niggas try to make a statement and go skirt and still sell dope. Like it's all good. It's not all good. It's not all good. You should have took the 3 weeks. You feel what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Real rap.
But listen, snitching doesn't go for everybody. Like, not everybody follows that code because listen,
What do you mean
snitching only applies to a certain code, right? Like, a law-abiding citizen, you can't call him a rat because you know what? He abides by the law.
Right.
So his job is to call the police and his job is to tell on you because here what? That's the side of the law that he's on.
He pays
He
his
didn't,
taxes on
he
time.
didn't
Pays his taxes.
sign up.
You understand
he
what
didn't
I'm
sign
saying?
up for the other shit.
Now, I'm only speaking for the people that are on the other side of the fence, the so-called outlaws.
Dope boys.
You understand
niggas,
what I'm
robbing
saying?
niggas,
Just
all that
outlaws
shit.
in general. Outlaws. If you're an outlaw, if you live outside of the law, then those rules apply to you.
I'll be honest, niggas who know the laws apply to them, they know. You know
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah,
you know who
yeah,
you are.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no one's
yeah.
got to tell you. You know who the fuck you are.
You just know.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
let me
yeah,
ask this
yeah,
question,
yeah.
and again, I want your opinion on this, but what is the benefit of not snitching? So let me finish this. So you do some shit with a nigga, and you get caught, and your man gets away. They got nothing on him. He's free unless you talk. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking if I take the rap and I do the time and you're good, I'm thinking the benefit of me not snitching is you're gonna hold me down. So if I have a kid at home or a wife or whatever, you're gonna I'm not saying you gotta be there and raise my, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna hold that side down for me. You're gonna, visit once in a while. I'm thinking that would be the benefit of not. But does that happen? Does that actually happen?
In reality, most times, no.
Okay, so then what? So now you're thinking to yourself, okay, if I not snitch, people are gonna hold me down. But you're saying in reality it doesn't happen.
Most times it doesn't.
Okay, so most
Sometimes
times.
it does,
Okay, so
but-
most times. So now if I'm playing the odds and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna be fucked out here by myself. And now fucking Mr. Police Officer is offering me everything and a fucking cherry on top. Why?
You get your life
Why
back.
am I not cooperating?
Because you get your life back. Because if you decide to go on that side, you will never be the same person again.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Not
kids will
only
not get the respect.
that too.
Anybody associated you
That too,
will
but-
be shunned and treated differently.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? Your
You
kids
basically lose
will treat you
everything.
differently.
Yeah.
For sure. That too, but I would say that it has nothing to do with anybody else. I would say that it has to do with you and your character and who the person you are is. Like I said before, like listen, if I decide that I'm gonna go do something that's outside of the law,
Preach.
I have to take responsibility for anything that comes after
That's
that.
true.
That's just like having a child. You understand what I'm saying? When you
lie?
decide that child comes,
Yeah.
that means you decide to have
You're
a
responsible for
responsibility.
everything.
But shouldn't but
feel me?
but Grams, like if
Nobody, no, just let me finish,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm with somebody
yeah.
and we both get caught, I'm gonna take my part of the fucking whatever it is because here what? That person didn't put no gun in my head and tell me to be there. That
That's true.
person didn't ask, like, you understand what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
hear you,
I
I hear
woke
you,
up
I hear
that
you.
day and said, yo, this is where I'm going to be at.
Yeah.
So if I happen to suffer some consequences,
That
I
was
got to
part of the
live with
game.
them.
That's
It's
part of
part
the
of the
game.
game because here
That's
what?
that's the risk that you took.
That's
the
you
risk
knew,
that you took.
You knew what you
That's
were
just like
getting
having
into.
a 9-to-5 job. You wake up every morning.
You could
and
get fired today. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
true.
could, you understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
But you're still going to work every day
That's right.
and doing your daily routine.
And if you slipped, you can't rat on fucking Sydney the
But because-
secretary
exactly,
Yeah.
but because-
she's doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
you got fired. It's
That's
not
true.
her to get fired.
That's true. That's true.
So you got to
That's-
take your
that's-
L
that's-
and go
that's a
home
good- that's a
and
good
let
way to
Sydney
look at
rock
it.
out.
But I mean, like, but okay, so
Because
and-
you obviously didn't do that math if you decide that you want to tell on somebody.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know that you're gonna do something, you got to do the math. You got to do the knowledge yourself.
if there was any misconception of what snitching is, I definitely hope that cleared it up. I mean, I know it cleared it up for me.
Of course, you
All
have
right,
to.
I know it cleared it up for me. Now, let me ask you this question. So I have a lot of white friends. Okay, a
Me
lot
too.
of white friends, and
too.
a lot of them are from Scarborough, and they say nigga a lot.
Oh,
is it ever
shit.
okay for a white person to say nigga?
Shit.
Now they don't say niggas in you dirty
No,
nigga.
Yeah, but they say nigga
They
in
say
raps.
nigga in it raps and as a term of endearment. Yo, what up, my nigga? And is it ever okay for a white person to say nigga?
You want to?
I'll be honest with you. It depends on the relationship they have with you. If that's the type of white boy who like holds you down when you're broke, he might have something on your rent. If you know what I mean, you ain't got nothing in your crib, he might bring some food over. Let that nigga say nigga,
Let
man.
that nigga say
You feel me? But if there's a white guy who comes on Saturdays only, you know what I mean? He's drinking your beer. You white boy, you can't say that shit. You feel? It's just an individual relationship.
All right. I hear
Because
that.
you know some white guys, I'll be honest with you, they're really down for the black shit.
Yeah.
They just happen to be white. They wish
yeah.
they were black. They really do, but
So you let it go.
I wouldn't say I let it go, but I accept their like a lot of white guys, they overcompensate with money, weed, alcohol. Like they try to be so down, and sometimes it's bad of us to like neglect that. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, I recognize your effort.
Yeah.
Come on down, my brother.
I see you trying, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let that nigga say nigga smoke a blunt with the man them. Let's go, cuz.
Oh my! You know what? We can let white people say nigga only on your birthday.
There you go.
Yo, I got a friend, right? Yeah. Who he was fucking his best friend's sister, even after his best friend explicitly said don't fuck. His sister's a hoe. So and
Some
he
Tony and Manolo
and,
shit.
yeah, and he knew that his sister liked him, so he fucked her.
This a white guy?
Black guy fucking a white girl. What are your thoughts on
The
that?
white girls love black cock.
Is it okay to fuck your friend's sister?
There's bad ways to look at it. Like I just said, that's the situation of Tony Montana and Manolo. Tony told Manolo, "Yo, don't touch my sister." You know what I'm saying? And then he came to the door
But Manolo loved that bitch though.
He
married her.
But I'm answering the question. The question was,
point.
if your homie says don't fuck my sister, right? Would you be upset if he does? And I'm saying Tony told Manolo, "Yo, don't fuck my sister," and he did. And he killed Manolo for that shit, right?
Yeah.
One opinion. Listen, if I tell you personally, yo, listen, I don't want you fucking with my sister, I'm telling you that for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know the type of caliber of niggas we are.
Yeah.
Right? We're out here on the same shit. You feel me? Yeah. So listen, ask yourself this. Would you care if I was fucking your sister?
Probably.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So then don't ask me that question, basically. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
you
yeah.
personally, but I'm saying, for a person if it was
you
my
know.
best friend, I would be like, if you're asking me that question and you didn't already do the math, then you don't got no love for me anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right,
But what was the relationship between the guy?
They were best friends.
Best friends?
Best friends. So it's
fucking
like,
friends.
nah, you can't go there. You know what I mean?
Best
But you know what?
of friends.
He already got it off on the sister. He needs to let that go. He already.
But here what? Listen,
won.
if it does happen,
Yeah.
eventually I'll get over it.
They're still not over it.
Oh, well.
Are this the sister and the guy still fucking?
They fucked for like 6 months.
And they're not
They were
anymore.
they
They're
were
done?
like yeah. They weren't in a. They were just fucking. They fucked in his friend's bed. So like her brother's bed. It was some disrespectful shit.
I'll knock my sister off for that.
Yeah,
You better
yeah,
fuck in your
see?
own bed, bitch.
Terrible.
That's
fuck
kind of
you
crazy,
doing?
right?
It just depends on the situation, I guess.
So there's a white guy and he's telling his black friend don't do this. All right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Reparations, my nigga. Let your sister go, my nigga.
You owe me this, motherfucker.
Your ass was slaving me, dog. Let me got your sister, my nigga. That ain't shit.
It's balance, man. It's balance. Yo, speaking of racism, man, again, I'm on your Twitter, and Gramz says that racism is at its worst point ever. At least back then, it was known and people weren't afraid to admit it. Now it's just hidden and used. Talk about that. Expand on that.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, people are just people would rather not keep it real with you to get through the moment or the situation. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like a certain, not even just race, fuck race. Like, if you don't like something in general, you might as well just say it, because if you don't say something, you're just gonna have to keep dealing with that, and every time you deal with it, it's just gonna be under your breath.
Yeah.
So you're always gonna deal with it until you say something about it and let it be known, so people won't bring that bullshit around you.
So do you like your racism served up front?
Yeah,
or?
hell yeah. You see how Trump does it? That's one thing I
I
can
love
respect him
racist
for.
jokes.
Yeah.
Better
Like,
than
I
racist
can
jokes. Am I
respect-
lying though?
I know racist jokes.
Race jokes are
Yeah,
fucking
and
the best.
race jokes are the funniest.
Because
And,
it
that's
lets
what-
you-
and
yeah.
that all goes back to, like I keep saying, where we come from. Like, we come from Scarborough.
Yeah.
So we don't. The only time we see white people is when we go to school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
Get arrested.
And it goes back to and it goes back to saying the nigga shit. Like if you grew up with these white boys where we come from, like
they're in Scarborough,
there's some
course.
white boys that I grew up with.
They could say nigga.
They're my nigga. I don't care. Like, listen, that's my nigga, and I'm his nigga because we grew up like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you say that about the nigga word, I have an issue with people that don't come from that saying it. Like if you grew up privileged and you watched YouTube and you watched some TV and like that's the cool shit for you guys to do. So now every minute this is my nigga and that's my nigga. Nah,
that's where you got a problem.
Because you don't understand
Some
where
white
that's
boys went
coming
through the
from.
struggle to say nigga.
Yeah,
white
like
boys got beat
like,
up
yes.
every day.
You understand what
to
I'm
say
saying?
Nigga.
Like
they got fucking
and
caught
look
up.
at me, B. I'm not dark skinned. I look like my skin looks white, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up with that type of shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Going through it. Like you look like a white.
People gave you a hard
yeah,
time.
like
when
you look
nigga?
like a white kid. No, not me
hood,
for that.
my
Hell
nigga,
no. But
I'm
saying, people would make jokes and shit about it, but I'm saying for the white boys that did come from there, they're not just saying nigga because they think it's cool. They're saying nigga because, listen, that's their way of life. That's what he came from. That's what we came from. So there, like I said, there's people who say nigga. There's some white boys who say nigga, and they're certified to say it. But then there's some people that ain't certified, and they just say it because they think it's cool.
And so to kind of get into music, like obviously you've collaborated with a lot of people.
Yeah.
What's your favorite collaboration? Like what's your best
Big
experience when you were
question.
because you fucked with a lot of people. So what's your favorite collaboration that you've done? I don't just mean the song. I mean the whole experience.
Collaboration wise, like it's always the best when I'm with my team and shit, like my homeboys and shit, like M3, like Dre Bars, Reese, like M3G, F4TG, like my immediate circle. It's always the best. But like outside of that, I wouldn't say I have a favorite moment or a favorite memory because I got something out of each and every collab that I did. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I might have got something from this person. I might have got something from that person. So I can't say one was better than the other because I kind of got an experience from all of them.
So working with a lot of different artists and obviously being like a student, like we were talking earlier, like your Toronto history with hip hop. Yeah. So not to pit one rapper against another, but just as far as maybe like, two of your favorite rappers in Toronto, who would that be? And really what I'm saying is like, who would you want to see battle? Like, who do you think would put together a dope battle? Like, which two Toronto artists?
It would be anybody versus Dre Bars.
Anyone versus. So give me a specific. Give me a name.
Nah, I mean my nigga smoking everything. So I'm saying like, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever.
It doesn't matter.
Whoever wants to compete with him, then but. I put the house up on Dre Bars, man.
Who are your favorite top 5 MCs from Toronto?
I don't have a top 5. I don't want to name 5 because I got so many, and I don't want to leave nobody out.
No doubt. What about your favorite producers? Top 5 producers from Toronto?
Oh shit, Big Sprocks.
Okay.
Big Sprocks. Who else, man? Shout out to Tycho. Fucking. He produced the majority of the project I have coming out right now, the Carter Diaries. Big Tweez, David Strickland. Who else I worked with? Shout out to Beat Buster. I just flamed up 2 of his beats. Who else, man? There's a couple more that I'm forgetting, but one of my favorite producers from T.O. is Big Sprocks.
Big Sprocks, all right. He did All of My Way, right?
He did the majority of it. Tone Mason was on there. Sprocks, Beatbuster had a joint on there. I think that was it.
What are your thoughts on Drake versus Jay-Z? They've been throwing little jabs at each other like for fucking ever.
For the city, fam. It's all about the city.
So we're ready for
the city, my nigga.
So if you had to take
Toronto.
So if you had to take yourself out of that, not even a Drake versus Jay-Z, but in your opinion, who makes better songs?
At the moment,
listen.
Can't.
No, man. Listen. Can I answer that or no?
100%, my nigga.
Let me answer.
It's your interview.
Let me answer. You see, Jay-Z's music raised the whole generation. You understand? Like, yo, Jay-Z kind of, like, he raised me kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? I used to, because I never grew up with no pops and shit, so my pops was music. Like, I used to get my game from music and, like, my older cousins and uncles and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, for me, Jay will always be on a certain level for me because, yo, like, he got me through life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Drizzy, I'm from Toronto, right? I'm from Canada, so that's some home team shit, right?
Home team always.
And he's number one in the world right now. Fuck just Toronto or Canada, like he's the number one guy in the whole fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that battle, that's just a stalemate for me. You understand what I'm saying? Because I respect Jay as to where, like, life in general, he gave me some game. Like, yo, The Blueprint and fucking
an amazing
Life
album.
and Times Volume 2.
I don't
Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think Drake has one
saying?
of those yet. I don't think he has one
But
of
I'll
those
be honest with you,
albums yet.
Drake is doing more at his age than Jay-Z ever did.
That's the other argument.
That's
so
the time.
so
By
when,
the time Drake's 50, I believe he'll be.
Yeah, and
almost
that's what I'm
past
saying.
Jigga
Like,
a lot
at
of
the
people,
moment.
that's what people
That's
say.
what I'm
People are like,
saying.
yo, can Drake position himself to
Drake's
kind of
like
be
29, 30.
Drake's
By the
number
time
one
was-
in the world.
Jay-Z
like,
was 30. He was on his second album.
This is what I'm
and
saying.
niggas
You know
wasn't fucking with him.
So,
This is what I'm
You
saying.
feel me? Like, I know my history. Like,
So like I
know
said,
where
it's a
Jigga
stalemate
was.
because Jay-Z's history and Drizzy is fucking shit up right now.
Jigga popped at like
You
27,
know what I mean?
28.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Drake been rocking the fucking whole rap game for like 7 years at like 24.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you,
see,
you gotta give him that time to blow because he's
I
about to get his deal with Apple right now.
I
and fuck the
actually,
game up.
I actually put that question out there online, and people just fucking lost their minds because I was kind of like positioning the same thing. Look, Drake's a lot younger than Jay, and if you look at the fucking, if you look at like the
trajectory.
yeah, and the window, like what Drake's been in, like what, 7 years?
Yeah.
So look at Drake's first 7 and
Compared to Jay-Z's first 7, he's smoking Jay-Z.
Yeah,
He's
Come on,
smoking.
son.
In his first 7
Drizzy-
years, Jay-Z can't talk to Drake.
Okay.
So I'm saying,
Let's keep it
Drizzy's
facts.
the man, B.
You feel
Okay,
me? Like,
okay.
and I'll be honest with you. If Drake plays his cards right, he could be where Jay-Z is in 10 years earlier than
Than where
what Jay-Z
Jay's
does. Because we all know the things are moving faster than they were back in the day.
But I
Like,
think it's just friendly competition too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what
I
I'm
agree
saying?
Absolutely.
completely.
Absolutely.
I honestly believe at one point they're gonna collaborate.
But yeah,
honestly
being biased,
believe that.
I'm fucking with Drizzy.
What about you, Jay-Z or Drake?
Oh, Drake all day. I'm
Drake
from
all day.
Toronto,
I'm
my
gonna
nigga.
say- I'm
I
gonna say
mean,
Drake too.
I don't know. I don't know
I'm
Jay,
fucking
my
with Drizzy,
nigga.
but like I'm not gonna take away what Jay's
Yes.
impact had on my life. You know what I mean?
I want to go back to Twitter, of course.
Yeah.
So, Gramz, I see it. You did a tweet. Says, I think we need a Toronto rap committee that screens any rapper from T.O. And if they suck, they're not allowed to rap or they get beat up.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Stand behind that all day.
Expand on that.
I just feel like
Pussy niggas are getting on.
yeah, not only that, yeah, that's it.
Real
But-
rap, no
That's
filter,
it.
no bullshit.
That's it.
Let's
But,
call it what it is.
That's it. But like, yo, there's a lot of people that just woke up yesterday and said, I want to do this. You know what
Right?
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like, yo, there's people that have been putting in work out here that still never got their recognition that need it. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about cats like Atom Bomb. I'm talking about even cats like you, Puzzle. I'm talking about fucking the Jellystones. I'm talking about the Point Blanks,
Yeah.
the Ghetto Concepts. I'm talking about like Foundation, like
Infinite is a sick rapper.
Infinite.
too,
He comes
absolutely.
from Ghetto
Infinite's my
Concept and
nigga.
shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So
I fuck with that nigga's
like
raps.
I'm saying Foundation, like Brass Monk, fucking what's that group from Vancouver? Fucking Rascals,
Yup.
fucking
Also, Swollen Members in the music.
Swollen Members, SARS,
Yup.
fucking them cats from the borough, Citizen Kane,
Yeah.
fucking, you understand
Y'all
what
on
I'm
them
saying?
on that.
Cause
Yes,
like,
yes,
yo,
yes.
like there's a foundation, and I'm saying like certain cats ain't getting respected, or they
They're
just
skipping
ain't,
the
they're
fucking
skipping
combine.
them over,
Yeah.
right? And I'm saying it's cool for everybody to get on, right? But I'm saying, yo, if you do get like, take the shit serious. And that tweet went to anybody who's just jumping on the rap wave because they feel like they're gonna be cool off it. You understand what I'm saying? Or they're gonna get a few bitches off it, or they're gonna get a show. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Part-time rappers,
Part-time niggas. And that's all it's for. Cause there's real rappers out here putting in work. Niggas like my nigga Dre Bars, like, yo, niggas like my nigga Jeezy, like, you know what I'm saying? These niggas been putting in work out here. R.I.P. to my nigga G-Lock, like, yo, niggas like that were putting in fucking real Toronto rap work. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you. There needs to be a filter, basically.
A filter, and that's why I said we need a committee.
Almost like someone to be like, yo, you're not
qualified.
enough to
You're not
rep the city, my
qualified.
nigga.
Shit, yeah,
Get
You're
that
not
shit
qualified
the
to
fuck
rep
out
the
of here.
city.
Come back next week
You
with some new
understand?
shit. I agree 100% because like I told you earlier in the whip,
Yeah.
there's no fucking system in the city to be like, yo, this is what's popping.
Right
This
now.
is not. Every nigga
There
that
isn't.
throws their
There isn't.
fucking
Yeah.
half-court shot and hope it goes in. Am I lying?
Nah.
They pay for the Toronto Rappers link and they get on. Like, come on, cuz. Like, cut the shit out.
Is that what it is, though? You could pay for that shit? Like,
Of course you
people-
could pay
that's
for
it.
that shit.
Pay for what?
You could pay for anything.
To get
Toronto
posted?
rappers, all that
On
shit.
the blogs?
Most people have to pay Toronto
You have
rappers to put their
That's
shit
right.
out.
That's right. That's what I tell you. It's like,
That's
to
fucked.
be honest, if you're going to Toronto rappers, you have to sift through the garbage to get through the jams.
So what?
That
so
should never be the facts.
You know what?
They
what's-
obviously post what they want. They filter what they want. Like, if I send, like, put it this way, I don't send the blog shit.
Yeah, if they fuck
You understand
with
what
you,
I'm
they fuck with
saying? And not to say that I wouldn't if I had the means to. Like, if I had a PR
you.
or
Niggas should have paid
fucking.
for fucking views,
But at the
my
end
nigga.
of the day, like,
We're
yo,
from
I'm not gonna
Toronto.
pay you for me to go on your platform. I would rather work harder for you to put me on your platform
exactly.
yourself. Because listen, I'm not asking for no handout and I'm not asking for no shorts because I didn't grow up
With a
learning how to
handout, my
take
nigga.
shorts. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I grew up like, yo, you can't take no shorts. You gotta go the long route
gotta
because
earn it.
you gotta earn it because once you earn it, you'll respect it more.
And
That
ain't
nigga
nobody
will
can take
respect
it
you.
away
You
from
ever
you
just
either.
get some money and like you never worked for it and you just got it?
You blew that
You
shit.
just
blow
fucking
it.
blew it.
Yeah.
As opposed to yo,
Yeah.
when you actually put in work for that money, you're
I
like,
stayed
yo,
up 3 nights for this shit.
yeah,
I
I'm
ain't
gonna put
blow
this
this
away.
shit.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put this.
About.
Yeah, like you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, I got you. I hear that.
Facts.
So, yo, I want to get into your album, the new one that's coming out. So it's
No, it's a mixtape.
It's a mixtape.
Playlist, like Drake.
So DOH Carter Diaries, March 24th, release party at Rain Nightclub, Warden and Danforth. Now, DOH, what is that? Is that an acronym? Doe. So it's just Doe. Doe Carter.
Because
So-
it's Joe Carter, right? So I just
Doe
swagged
Carter.
it the fuck out and called
right.
it Doe Carter. You know what I'm saying?
How many tracks are on this?
Right now it's I'm fluctuating between 15 and in between 13 and 17. I'm fluctuating in between that.
What's like the main?
It just matters really about if the certain features come through in time.
Okay.
To where I have to get the shit mixed.
Okay. And now what's the main goal of this? So like what are you hoping the response is going to be and the outcome? So you put it out, what are you hoping that the reaction is going to be? What are you hoping to gain from this release?
Just to let them know that I'm back to work because
Okay.
the whole last year I never really dropped nothing, and the year before that it was strong, right? So I'm just the Doe Carter Diaries World Series edition is just to let them know that I'm back to work and I'm back to be great and I'm back to bring Toronto greatness as much as possible as I can, and that's why I called it Doe Carter because when they won the World Series in 9-3, like that was kind of one of the greatest moments ever for Toronto.
Absolutely.
Not even just Toronto, but Canada
Period.
in general, right?
Everyone was back in the Jays.
You
I
understand
remember
what
that
I'm
shit.
saying?
Yeah,
Like the Jays were fucking everything to Toronto when Joe Carter hit that home run and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you feel you get the most of your support from? Like fans or like your friends? Like, do your friends buy your shit or they're just like, yo, you're my virgin, I should get it for free?
I mean, that's just how the hood stays. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it goes. But I get the most love overseas, like London.
As far as like
UK and
actual
shit.
purchases.
Yeah. UK and London and shit.
What kind of like you mentioned features? Like what kind of features could we expect on this project? I know you said you just shot something with Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
MAINO,
yup. He's on there.
You did the show with MAINO, and I don't mean to just trail off from the question, but did the feature kind of bounce from that show, or was that already in the works?
Yeah, that was already in the works.
Okay.
My homeboy Chance, shout out to Chance Rose promo. Fucking MAINO was already coming down here, and Peter Jackson fucks with him and shit. They already had some business in the works, so Chance kind of just set it all up and made it happen.
All right, cool. So we're going to wrap it up. But when we wrap it up at the Ignorance is Free, we like to wrap it up with something called the Random 10.
All right.
Okay, so they're just random, retarded questions, just one-word answers. I'm just going to rapid fire them at you, all right?
Let's go.
All right, cool. Okay, TGramz, the Random 10. If you had to fuck one, Rosie O'Donnell or Blanche from the Golden Girls, who would it be? Rosie O'Donnell or Blanche from the Golden Girls?
I don't even know which one Blanche is.
She's the one that looks like a man.
The tall one?
The tall
what
one.
the hell? Can I skip? Nah, man.
Rosie
Pass,
O'Donnell
yo.
or Blanche
Rosie might
from
have
the
some
Golden
fire
Girls?
head.
Nah, but
Rosie
Rosie doesn't
that
fuck
diet?
with dudes, b.
That means she got the
I'm trying to be
top.
I'm trying to be politically correct.
All right,
son.
so we're gonna go with Blanche. Okay, now, okay, how about this, Gramz? Yo, did Bill Cosby rape those bitches? Yes or no?
Hell no.
Rob Ford or John Tory?
Rob motherfucking Ford, player.
Smoking dope out there.
Can a woman rape a man? Yes or no?
Hell no. Nigga's dick gotta get hard for her to rape him. What the fuck?
Salute.
If you had to guess how many glasses of water you drank in 2016, how many would that be?
Man, probably none. It was all Henny shots, man. You know what I mean?
Hockey or baseball?
Hockey.
What's another word for vagina other than pussy?
Pum pum.
Does Lady Gaga look like a transsexual?
Hell yeah.
Method Man or Biggie on the What from the Ready to Die album?
That's a hard question, fam.
Verse 2, coming with that old Hebrew.
So we're gonna
Method
go
Cow
with
putting
Method
niggas
Man.
back and I see you. I'm lifted true. You could bring your whack ass crew. I got connections. I get that ass stuck like glue.
All right, well, we know the answer to that. And last but not least, can a black person be racist during Black History Month?
Hell no.
Thank you. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. TGramz, I appreciate you coming through. Benny as well. Listen,
Appreciate you having
we're
us.
gonna wrap it up. The Ignorance is Free episode 2. TGramz, take us out, man.
Yeah. You already know it's TGramz, Toronto's own Crackstone, voice of the dot. Rap Games D-Boy, audio crack, man. Fresh out the Pyrex into the sandwich bag. Straight to the street. 1,000 Grams Entertainment. Shout out to the squad, M3G, F4TG, GSC. Shout out to Chance Royals Promotion. Shout out to the 90 Nickel Gang. Shout out my nigga Benny on the motherfucking ones and twos. Shout out to the Ignorance is Free.
Bomb.
My nigga Puzzle, like, yo, you gotta get back out here on the rap scene, my nigga.
we'll
The
see what
streets is
goes
missing you, dog. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the legends that's fucking with me too. Shout out to all the love that the people's been showing, man. I
to
definitely
the city,
appreciate
my
it.
nigga.
Yo, I'm not there yet, my nigga. You don't hear my shout outs, nigga. You don't hear me right now, man. My shout out, you kind of cut in, man. I was flowing, man. My shout out game was tight just now. But yeah. Shout out to the whole TO, man. Shout out to Toronto City. Shout out to Scarborough, man. I'm from. Shout out to all the hoolies and the hooligans out in the borough.
to the
You know
dope
what I
boys,
mean?
man.
Shout out to the dope boys. Shout out to the P's. Shout out to the hoes that's out there working and sending that trap to a nigga, man. And shout out to the whole hip hop, man. Shout out to my nigga Benny's podcast. Shout that out again, my
Yes,
nigga. What is
absolutely.
it, man?
Motel City, my nigga. Listen.
Shout out to
tune in, my
Motel
nigga.
City 6, my nigga. You know what it is,
Love,
B.
love.
Yo, where
love.
can we check that, though?
iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube.
Bomb, bomb, bomb.
Everything you can listen to music, anything on, I'm out there, nigga.
Hey, yo, shout out to my niggas locked too. Shout out to
The
man
Ignorance
like
is Free
J-Bo.
podcast.
Shout out to man like Jits, man. Shout out to man like J Money. Shout out to everybody that's locked. And RIP to my nigga G-Lock, man. We're here and we miss you and we love you, my nigga. Shout out to my nigga and RIP to my nigga Fresh and my cousin Youngin too. And RIP to Murder Martyrs too, man. Shout out to everybody that's resting in peace. That was a solid nigga. Shout out to everybody that's locked, that's solid. And you you know, take all them pedophiles and child molesters and rapists, put them on one island and blow them up, and we out of here.
Bomb, bomb. Yo, make sure you guys get the Doe Carter Diaries March 24th. If you're not at the Rain nightclub on Warden and Danforth on March 24th, I don't know what the fuck you doing. We out. The Ignorance is Free, episode 2. Biatch.
Yeah.